I'm in the city of Flores, Guatemala, embarking on a quest to find the tombs of the lost Maya snake kings. Okay, guys, we are leaving. Anybody who wants to go to the jungle, get in a helicopter. And find out why their empire mysteriously collapsed. They may have ruled at a place called El Mirador, a ruined city so remote we're chartering twin helicopters to reach the site, and its lead archaeologist, Dr. Richard Hansen.
From here all the way up into Mexico to the north, there's just nothing. Inside these jungles, there are no roads or cities or people, except the ancient cities of the Maya.
North of Flores is a massive protected zone known as the Mayan Biosphere Reserve. It spans more than 8,000 square miles, and at its heart, a gigantic depression ringed by limestone hills known as the Mirador Basin. Inside, a rainforest filled with swamps, jaguars, crocodiles, and the city of El Mirador.
We are officially in the middle of nowhere. This is crazy. You went down out here and found yourself on the ground, you'd be done for.
Both choppers race onward, and after nearly 30 minutes of soaring over an ocean of green, we approach the coordinates of the site.
There is El Mirador. You can see it rising up above the canopy, a couple of bumps on the horizon.
Soon, we realize those bumps are buildings, massive pyramids and temples rising up from the forest floor.
Oh, it is dense out here. I was expecting some clearings, you know, big open areas. This place is just engulfed by jungle. We're coming into land somewhere. Really small pad. Look at this. They just carved out a really tiny area to get a helicopter down. Okay, going in.
There's no room for error here as the pilot descends into the rough clearing. Touchdown. Thanks, buddy. Okay, here we go! Once we're on the ground, the second helicopter follows us in. We unload our gear, and moments later, the choppers quickly depart for the safety of Flores, leaving us feeling very, very stranded. But at least we're not alone. We're here to meet archaeologist Richard Hansen, who's somewhere in the jungles nearby. Where's Richard?
In the camp.
In the camp?
In the camp, yeah.
Okay, lead the way. The archaeologists have built a pretty huge, sprawling camp, all sorts of little bungalows and structures. You know, they're out here in such a remote area, they have to really build up their own little mini civilization here.
Here's the water systems, catch the water for the roofs. And then with the pump for the filters to the,
Got it.
to the kitchen.
I continue to explore the camp, mess hall, and the crew finds the lab, which will serve as a makeshift tech room during our stay. Finally, I find Richard working in the archaeologist's natural habitat, the sifting station. Richard.
Hi, Josh.
How are you, man?
Good. How you doing? You made it.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, good to see you. No fatalities, I'm assuming.
Not yet. I gotta tell you, man, I've been to a lot of dig sites. You guys are pretty hardcore out here.
Well, we're out in the boonies, as you can tell.
How long have you been working out here?
Well, I've been out in this basin 37 years.
So when you first arrived here in the late 70s, what was the conventional wisdom about this place?
Well, all Maya sites were classic. Nobody in the pre-classic was building buildings like this.
Right.
At the time, the pre-classic Maya were hunters and gatherers.
Right, so the assumption was this is from the
Classic
kind of
period,
classic period, the height of the empire, as it was thought,
right.
When did that idea start to change?
We excavated, we started finding stuff like this.
This pottery.
This is pre-classic, about 150 AD.
So you started to realize this pottery is from much earlier.
I realized that maybe the model was wrong. The entire model for the evolution of Maya civilization was not correct.
So this place flourished 1,000 years earlier than anybody thought?
That's right. So what we're looking at out here, essentially, the cradle of Maya civilization.
How much do we know about the rulers of El Mirador? These snake kings, right?
These kings, they weren't just the King Tuts of the New World. These were the Ramses.
The big guns.
The big guys. And they're not buried in some little hole somewhere.
Now, none of these royal tombs have ever been found.
No, never.
Do you think those royal tombs are here?
We have a strong suspicion they are. And these tombs, if they're found, will be loaded.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Let's go find them. El Mirador is a big place. To get around, Richard's team uses ATVs on hand-cut trails. So all of this is part of the site.
All this is part of the city of El Mirador, Josh.
And is this natural here?
Oh, no, these are pyramids.
All these are pyramids.
These are big, big buildings here. Massive big buildings.
I'm absolutely stunned. Beneath what look like overgrown hills, Richard and his team have uncovered soaring temples, towering staircases, and ceremonial buildings. And they're everywhere. So how many of these buildings are there total in El Mirador?
Well, we're still counting, but we're numbering in the tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands?
Yes, oh yeah.
Get out of town.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's hard to even comprehend. We're driving through more than 500 square miles of ruins and a city with a footprint larger than Los Angeles. Okay, so where are we in the city now?
We're on the great central plaza of the city.
We're on a plaza.
On a plaza. Oh, this is all artificial.
Wait, if you strip away all these trees?
You're on a cement floor.
What do you mean cement? Like actually cement?
Lime plaster.
So all of their plazas, all of these areas, they were
paved.
plastered.
They were paved.
They were paved.
This whole city was paved.
All of it.
All of it.
Every inch of El Mirador, from pyramids to pathways, was once stripped of trees and covered in smooth lime plaster. An urban metropolis and the largest ancient city in the Western Hemisphere. And why do you think they wanted it all paved? Because it was more functional or because it was prettier?
It was pretty and it was functional, but it allowed them to capture water.
All cities need water to survive, but El Mirador was built far from any river or lake. So what's it doing out here? Richard has a good idea.
There's a secret to that, and that is these ancient swamps.
Okay. Why do you want to build a big city next to a swamp?
Because you have that mud. There was mud that they were harvesting out of the bottom of those marshes, and it gave them incredible agricultural capability.
So super mud.
Super mud. That was the economic engine of this whole system.
The nutrient-rich mud here allowed the pre-classic Maya to grow crops like crazy. But with no source of drinkable water, they had to innovate.
So they devised water collection systems, pools, plazas, reservoirs, dams, waterfalls.
Wow.
They had it all.
Got it. Wow. So really sophisticated.
Oh, this is what launched them in the stratosphere economically and culturally.
Right.
They established an identity. They became the Snake Kingdom.
And Richard believes he's uncovered physical evidence of the rulers of this kingdom, the Snake Kings themselves, and a possible clue that they could be buried nearby. Whoa! Are you kidding me? Look at this.